Every thought has impact. Every belief has impact. It has impact emotionally. It has impact physiologically. And it also often has impact in our lives. A belief certainly has impact in and on our lives. Now, every thought is reflected biologically. If I think I'm a great person, my body changes. Immediately, I think that. If I think I am a terrible person, my body changes. Now, the degree of change is correlated by the intensity of belief, the certainty of belief, and also the exclusivity. So if I say, I'm a good person sometimes, I'm a bad person sometimes, and I kind of believe that, there's a lighter impact. If I say I'm a good person, and I believe it absolutely, there's more impact. There's impact on image, which impacts identity, which leads to different behavior, right? Because we don't like insanity. I'm a good person who does bad things. A good person does good things. And so in order to attach, in order to be consistent, in order not to go insane, I must do the things that I consider to be good if I believe that I am a good person with certainty, right? So if I believe I'm a good person with certainty, it affects my feelings more than if I believe I'm a good person uncertainly. I believe it, but I'm not sure, right? Thoughts influence, create aspects of our reality. They ripple out. They affect our physiology. They affect our emotions. They affect our beliefs. And our thoughts, our emotions, our physiology, and our beliefs are also contagious. They're viruses that ripple out. It's very common for the rest of the group, for example, to defer to the most confident person. Often, the group is too incompetent to assess competency, right? An incompetent group cannot assess the competency of anyone else in the group, but they can assess the confidence. And so it's very common for a group to follow highly confident, highly outgoing individuals who don't have a clue what they're doing, but are confident that they do, right? It's a personality trait. In this way, an entire group is swayed by the degree of belief one person has in themselves, the degree of certainty, because almost everyone has some uncertainty about everything. I thought I was certain, but then I saw the lipstick. And then I saw the text. Now I'm no longer certain. I thought I was a great person, but when this person said that behind my back and this person did this to me, what's going on? Are they all crazy, or am I not a great person, right? And the mind, the lineal pattern organizing mind, is always trying to find sanity, things that make sense, right? It doesn't make sense that I'm an amazing person, but nobody gets it, right? So maybe I'm not an amazing person, right? Or I have to teach at least somebody to get it, right? Someone has to get that I'm an amazing person, or, it's at least I do, right? And so beliefs, thoughts, they're patterns that emanate out from one individual to another virally. And the patterns meet, and the pattern with the most energy wins, and confidence, intensity, belief is a form of energy. It's a form of faith. All beliefs are a form of faith. If at the very least, the faith that the past will repeat itself. This was called a hand yesterday. I have faith it will be called a hand tomorrow. I have faith in the cycle of the past repeating itself. It's happened so many times, I have faith that the sun will rise. Now, it may not, right? The Earth could be hit by an asteroid and shunted off of its spinning, and the sun may not rise. The Earth may split, and the sun may be revealed in the split if we're still alive, right? There's all kinds of things that could happen, but we have faith. It's a form of energy. It's a form of belief. And that energy form may encounter dense forms called facts, right? I have faith in my church. But looking at the embezzlement of this pastor and that pastor, looking at the sexual infidelity of this member and this member of the clergy, the density of that pattern of energy is shaking my faith, right? It's weakening my faith. I had faith, but it's colliding with a dense form of contrary energy. My faith is going down. I may still have faith in God or something else, but not the representatives. Now, we can say that thoughts change reality, influence reality. But we can also say that thoughts are reality. Meaning, if we look at a stranger and say that that's someone who's going to teach me an amazing thing, I don't know what it is yet, but they're going to teach me an amazing thing. That creates a different physiology. It creates a different feeling. It leads to different behavior towards the stranger. And it increases the probability that we will learn something. If we say to the same stranger, that stranger is up to no good, and we respond this way and that way, etc., the stranger is a different stranger to us. We probably won't learn anything. So our thought is reality. Now, the same is true in reverse. Everything that goes on in our body affects our thoughts. Everything that goes on in our body affects our feelings. We get a bad night's sleep. We feel bad when we wake up. and we think more depressing and negative thoughts. So, but is there really a difference? Can you think a thought without physiology? And so your thought changes physiology. But is your thought physiology? Your thought changes your body, thinking this is going to be a great day. That changes your body versus, oh, I do not want to be here today, which changes your body. But which comes first? Is it the thought that changes the body, or is it the body that changes the thought? And how does that work when it's obviously both, right? Like right now, not coming from your body directly, it's coming from my body. And I say, you're an amazing person. Now, you may not believe me, but if you entertain the idea, it could be, you could be an amazing person. Are you absolutely sure that you're not? You could be an amazing person. You can't prove that you absolutely aren't. You might be, maybe in your spare time, maybe all the time. Depends, right? Obviously, you could amaze some people, at least some of the time. You might amaze an alien who'd never seen a person and is amazed. Like, to them, we're the alien. So, are you capable of amazing something somewhere, sometime, right? Now, if you're an amazing person, at least some of the time, and you accept, right? You realize, okay, at least some of the time, you feel better, right? Which means the physiology, your body changes in a way that facilitates the feeling of better. So which is it? Did the physiology create the thought? But now, so in this case, the thought is creating the physiology. The thought is creating the feeling. And if you believe the thought and believe the feeling, you will do more amazing things. You've got to, because your brain doesn't like incongruity. If I'm an amazing person, I have to do some amazing things. So what am I going to do, right? And it'll come up with something that is consistent with the thought. Now that's the thought moving into reality. But is it the thought moving into reality, or is it low-density physiology moving into high-density physiology? Because if you cannot think a thought without changing your brain and body, and you cannot have a physiological sensation without affecting your thoughts, then it's really all one and the same, right? Reality is changing reality through the lens of physiology, through the lens of thoughts, through the lens of emotionality. So in this framework, we can also see how, if someone bangs into you hard or shoots a bullet at you, that changes your thoughts, that changes your feelings, that changes your belief. And so physiology can change your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs. And beliefs and thoughts and feelings can change your physiology, and they're one and the same. Everything has impact. Now, any belief that we hold, any thought, any projection, any attachment, any belief, has to show up somewhere in our physiology, somewhere in our behavior. Some of the time, somewhere this shows up. And the question is how and when and where and why. But if I believe that something bad's going to happen. My body changes right now. My feelings change right now. My thoughts change right now. And sometime, somewhere, the reality of the future will be different because of that belief. It's all connected. What happens inside gets reflected outside. What happens outside gets reflected inside. Now, one of the continuums then, and one of the perhaps more important distinctions at an individual level is for each one of us, how much is our outer reality following our inner reality, which would be proactive. Like we have a dream, we have an imagination, we have a belief that we've never seen anywhere else, but we believe it and we nurture it and we bring it into our body. And then we express it through language, through behavior, and we bring it into the minds and bodies of other people. And then it spreads out, right? It comes from within and it spreads out into the world. How much of the time, to what degree are we inner-oriented, giving birth from within to things that happen in the world, and how much are we outer-related, where it's nothing new, it's nothing unique about us. We just look around at the largest pattern of energy around us, and that is naturally our biggest influence. And we just let it define us. So we have a new thought and we say, no, that's not a good thought. It doesn't fit with the norm. And so we let the norm define us and crush the new thought. How much is it one? How much is it the other, right? In order for an individual to change, to transform the world, to bring something new into being, they must be inner referenced. They must have dreams. They must have imagination that are unique. They must believe them and bring them out into the world. And then other people believe them once they see them. Someone invents the fax machine, and then someone sees a bit of paper coming out from a fax machine and believes. But that came from inside someone's mind. Versus someone else that doesn't look inward at all, looks outward and says, that's the way it is because that's the way it is because that's the way it is. So both are happening all the time. The outer is coming in, the inner is coming out. It's about the volume of the flow. People that make the highest contributions cultivate something unique within themselves and bring it out in a way that catches fire, that virally replicates and spreads across the planet. And people that are largely invisible, that lack originality, that contribute very little of their unique self, never look inward. They look outward. For what do you think? What do you think? What's going to happen there? What do you think? And I think what that person thinks. And I'm doing what that person does, right?